No.
There! Fancy a riddle.
If you fancy a boot to the head.
Riddle solved. Brother, that ground's found a perch on high!
Behind you! Look out! Alka!
Brother, these bastards about to explode! Lads, showing them!
Right leg!
Here.
That's some of Kvasir's poetry.
Mimir, I never asked how it felt to lose your head.
What would you have me say? Tickle?
Merely curious.
If you wish to derive some satisfaction from my pain, I'm afraid you'll be disappointed. Kratos swung swift and true, didn't you, brother? I felt nary a scratch.
Shame.
A vengeful berserker gravestone.
From under the cruel, dagger the cold, and bitter frightful.
Behind you! Incoming! Behind you, brother!
I say enough!
Felt that one, brother! Behind you! Incoming!
I say enough!
Behind you, brother!
I'm tired of you! I'm tired of you! Tired of you!
Once we have defeated these berserkers, what then?
We pay the king a visit and give him more of the same.
We have seen this before. Revenge will not bring you peace.
Is it revenge if justice is served?
That is a question you must answer for yourself.
Brother, somewhere out there's a riddle you'd enjoy. I'm going to find it.
Do not.
Once spoken, instantly broken. What am I?
Silence.
Correct!
I was not answering the riddle.
Ah. Sort of a harp. I can play beautifully, you know.
I do not, and would prefer it remain that way.
Much of the sand has been cleared away, but another storm rages beyond that pass, which must mean...
Another half-goofer.
Odd. It looks as though the Light Elves sealed off this section of the Barrens. Why?
Luckily for us, a very considerate goddess has enhanced our magic chisel, and we can unseal it.
My, that is lucky.
The Forbidden Sands lay beyond.
Contested territory, according to Bela, and another storm to endure.
I remember when Freyr and I traveled to this realm as children. The desert was healthy and full of life back then. I can't help but fear that era has ended for good and our efforts here are futile.
It's a fair concern. Healing this land will take more than a pair of singing half-goofer. But I have to believe, in the long run, we're doing right by Alfheim. Well, best we start looking for a way underground.
Keep a lookout for a cave! I see an entrance! Freyr never saw how poorly these lands fared in his absence, did he? He would appreciate our efforts out here.
Aye. Hearing the Song of the Sands again is a rare privilege, even if it's only a solo act.
Or a duet, once this Hoflufa is free. This architecture. It is not of the Dark Elves.
An abandoned ancient settlement, by the looks of it. Built long before the Lightwell's creation.
More hive matter as well.
I'd say we're on the right track, then.
This kind of hive material is sensitive to sound. How odd. When I last came here with you and Atreus, I assumed the absence of Alfheim's light was an aberration. I didn't realize it was covered by hive matter.
Aye. And as far as the Dark Elves are concerned, it's that light column in the center of the temple that's the aberration. Just look at how old some of these surfaces are. Far older than the Lightwell, or even our trapped half-goofer for that matter.
That's quite the empathetic perspective, Mimir.
Well, dangle from a burly god's backside for a few winters, and you'll find yourself looking for all sorts of new perspectives.
Too thick for that. Well, there you go.
Wretch on the left!
Behind you again!
Incoming! Above you!
The Alpha! Light out!
Idor, throw your weapon at it!
Behind you! Incoming!
The Alpha
Incoming! Poison from above!
The Alpha! Light elves don't often travel underneath the barrens, do they?
Territory changes hands often in Alfheim. Or so it appears.
Big Veer did mention that these ruins have historical significance for the Light Elves. I assume they're only here to keep intruders out.
Well, at least they tried.
Good eye. Let's continue, shall we?
On your right! Enemy, left flank! Left side, brother!
I hope freeing these Hofgufas will allow them to breed again. It was a dazzling display once. The skies of Alfheim filled with their song.
I imagine it's the lack of fresh light that's caused this pair to grow abnormally large. No use in having babies if there's nothing for them to feed on.
Trying to protect their children from a harsh world. I can relate. I wonder if these two comprehend the choice they face in street.
What choice do you speak of?
The life cycle of the Hofgufa. In order to breed, they must pass on their light to their children.
And without light, they will die.
I suppose that's all any of us can hope for in the end. That our death has purpose. That we can live on through our children. Given another chance, I know what choice I would make. Well done. Time to set it loose.
Aye, back to the surface then.
Behind you! Look out!
Used in many of Freyr's blessings, I imagine.
The fate of these creatures, it reminds me of a story.
Does it?
There once was a blacksmith whose king commanded him to construct a box that could contain all the evils of the world. But no metal could hold such power. So the blacksmith used the flame
Kratos, is this a story meant to ease my grief?
Perhaps it is just a story. A way to pass the time.
I appreciate the sentiment, but... well, your stories...
About my stories.
I wouldn't exactly call them a comfort.
Fair. Mimir is the better storyteller.
Now, don't sell yourself short, brother. You've come a long way from the days of laconic fables.
It's okay. Finish your story, Kratos.
The blacksmith's daughter was the key to unlocking the box. He died trying to protect her from those who would open it.
Well, at least it's a relatable story.
It appears we've overstayed our welcome in Alfheim.
Time to end this storm.
If my stories are of no comfort, take solace in knowing you did what you thought was best for your son's safety. Even these creatures know. There is little choice for a parent. You are not alone.
I'm not, am I? And now neither are they.
Wow. Didn't know I could get misty. It's beautiful.
Thank you, Kratos. This land sings once more. We've done good here.
No rush to leave yet, is there? Who knows what kind of adventures await us in a freshly lit Barrens?
monument to Freyr. I wonder if he ever saw this.
This statue may have survived Freya's absence, but a truce clearly did not. Monuments are useless to those who ignore their message.
He didn't create a truce through diplomacy alone. His godhood, his very presence is what healed this land and allowed peace to take root. But once he left, he had to have known what would happen.
Well, he had good reason to leave. Some jackass convinced his sister to marry a madman.
You said monuments are useless. Why restore this one?
It was hidden for some time. Perhaps now it can serve as a reminder.
Aye. Nothing reminds people of their history like chiseled, well-lit marble.
Contain their own light.
You're right. Normally we'd have to provide our own. Perhaps slotting a crystal on the opposite side could shed some light on this mystery.
Crystal shards glow.
Looks like we can read the inscription now as well.
The light from the crystals. It is in the sand now.
Would you look at that? Freyr's gift endures after all. Or should I say, his presence?
You are not funny.
Even when Freyr was actually here, the peace was fragile. Surely a bit of extra light in the desert isn't enough to make it last.
Before I met Faye, I could not imagine a life of peace. After her death, in our travels to Jotunheim, I found peace on my own. It remains my responsibility to make it last.
I only hope his guidance will last this time.
We will see. But he has given them a chance.
This mentions a spell that puts trolls to sleep, and a magic relic that acts as a sort of counterspell.
Look here, Freya.
A dawn bloom.
Brother, in my travels, I heard of a great battle in your homeland, at a place called the Gates of Fire.
The Hot Gates.
You were there?
No.
Is that regret in your voice?
I did regret not dying there for many years. But no longer. The hilt is drawn to the gravestone.
The altar is stolen.
The king will lead us to glory! Waste of nothing!
I felt that one, brother.
Hunting these berserkers. I am reminded of our search for the Valkyries 2 winters ago.
I can see the similarities, aye.
There is one difference. With the Valkyries, you lacked spite.
Brother, I appreciate the sentiment, but you don't know the full tale.
I know how it feels to be wronged, and how it feels to achieve vengeance. I would hope to spare you the disappointment.
Aye. Another key, eh? Sooner or later, we're gonna have to find a lock to put them in.
A light elf statue in the desert. Odd.
On top of ancient elven ruins? I'd have to agree. Well, shame that's the last of Kvasir's poems.
Why not write your own?
Been a while since I dipped my quill into the ink pot of poetry, but maybe it's time to try again. Perhaps we can bring these two animals back to Vanaheim, or Midgard even. Specky and Spanna could use the company. We have kennels.
It would not go well for them. Once a predator becomes accustomed to a land, it is cruel to move them.
I suppose you're right. Just seems lonely out here.
It's peaceful. They have each other. It is enough.
An entire mausoleum. But why here and not in the temple?
A fair question.
With no clear answer.
put it on one of my horns. Let's see if I can pull it off.
No.
An elven library.
An archive of knowledge.
No sign of the Light Elves.
For now.
Maybe they've left for the day, and we can browse at our leisure. That's the last of the missing schematics. I suspect you've got some new sword hilts in your future.
These texts alone are not enough to end the Elven War. But restricting their access only serves those who wish to prolong it.
Taking a page out of Odin's book.
Aye, quite the advantage for the Light Elves.
This book is sealed, but there is an inscription. The console.
Big Veer spoke of an exile of the same name. Odds are he'd like a gander at that particular text. Ah, it appears the librarian would like a word.
Lata Frambog.
Sounds like she wants that journal back.
No.
Shield strike now!
They're healing!
No Salva. Thought. Givita. Helga brought it on.
She thinks she's protecting them by hiding all this knowledge away.
The elves do not need protection from their history. They need access. A new chapter awaits.
She's gone.
That? Well, she's hiding again.
It matters not. The knowledge found here will spread. Her work is done.
I'm impressed. Thought you were going to end her.
When last we traveled here, after Faye passed, I killed an elf of great importance. The ramifications were dire for his people. I do not wish to make the same mistake twice.
Light elf architecture. It's massive.
A token.
A badge of honor. The elves made a few of these. They'd hang them up outside their dwellings. Show their support for my brother. That's all my brother's tributes.
Would you prefer we hang on to them?
Do what you will. If Freya didn't bother taking them when he left last time, he wouldn't mind us selling them. Something is coming, and it's not happy. What on earth was a drake doing back there?
Your guess is as good as mine. Imprisoning a drake. Can't decide whether to be impressed or horrified.
Either way, it is over now.